It's so good to be with you again here. You know, each day I'm celebrating Mass privately, looking out at all those empty pews, and all I can do is imagine all your faces out there. I miss you so much, and I'm sure so many of you miss being here in your other home, your parish church. This week, you know, is Easter week, the octave, the 8 days that the church treats as one long day of rejoicing. And yesterday in the gospel, we had the story of the 2 disciples of Jesus leaving Jerusalem that first Easter morning, walking on the way to a little town of Emmaus 7 miles away. And as they were walking, they are described as being downcast. And Jesus comes and walks along with them, but they don't recognize him. And he asks, well, what are you talking about? And they say, well, all the things that have been going on in Jerusalem these days. And when he asks, well, what things? They say, are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who doesn't know what's going on here? The things about Jesus of Nazareth. He was a prophet. We were hoping that he was the one who would deliver Israel. We were hoping. I remember hearing Bishop Wright once say, those are the saddest words in all the scriptures. They had heard and seen Jesus raise the dead to life, change water into wine, feed thousands of people with a couple of loaves of bread and fish, given sight to the blind. They were hoping he was the one, the long-awaited Messiah. And now he had been put to death on a cross, buried. And they even heard that some of their women were at the tomb that morning and found it empty. And 2 others, Peter and John, had gone to the tomb, and they found it was empty and received the message from angels. He was alive. And still they're downcast. And Jesus says, oh, you slow to believe all that the scriptures said. And so Luke describes Jesus explaining to them the scriptures and how it was necessary for the Messiah to suffer and then to be able to rise to a new life. And by that time, they're at the village of Emmaus, and Jesus acts as if he's going on further. And they prevail. Oh no, stay with us. It's almost the end of the day. Stay with us. And when he sits down at table with them and he takes the bread and breaks it and gives it to them, they recognize it is Jesus in the breaking of the bread. And immediately he vanishes. So they rush back to Jerusalem to tell the apostles they've seen the Lord. He walked with them. I often think that's the most beautiful passage in all the scriptures. I've said at times, if someone were to say, I'm going to take the Bible away from you, but you can have one page, that's the page I want. From Luke's 24th chapter. In fact, I've even chose that to be the gospel reading at my own funeral mass. I think it's the story of every one of us. Luke only tells us the name of one of the 2, Cleophas. So we can all imagine we're that other disciple walking with Jesus. All the days of our life, we walk with him. And so often, we don't recognize him. Even in the ordinary events of our daily life, all the ordinary people of our life, but especially in the Eucharist, the first name of which was the breaking of bread. It's in the Eucharist that we do recognize him, that we know he is with us. And the Lord, who is so present to us in this most wondrous sacrament of the Eucharist, gives us the strength to keep on walking. And perhaps we've learned too that just as Jesus explained he had to suffer in order to rise, we too suffer with him. And we're all suffering here in this time of the virus. We are experiencing difficulties that we never imagined we would have to suffer. And we're uniting all of our sufferings with Jesus. And we need this message of Easter that says, suffering and death is not the end. It is the way to life, to living with Jesus in glory and joy and peace forever. Yes, like those apostles, we can say, weren't our hearts burning within us when he walked with us, talked to us, explained the scriptures to us? Yes, Jesus, the risen Lord, is with us. And we need that message especially this year as we endure the sufferings, knowing we're on the way to life, to glory. I pray the Lord will bless you and your loved ones, keep you safe. God bless you. God love you.